Shalom, Apostle Hawk, coming back at you with the truth, giving all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kwadash. And I'm going to entitle this video, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block. Anyway, before I go into it, let me see. Give me a second here. I need to bring up a particular tab, but all right, let me come back to channels. Last night I did a video to lead you to another video. And a lot of you watched it. I got a lot of views on the video based upon the title. But I hope you watched the whole video. But anyway, this is my Odyssey page, as you can see, Odyssey. And this is, and when you go to Odyssey, you put in Tahar Bun Lawyer. It says here at Tahar Bun Lawyer. And these videos that I put up on my Odyssey page cannot be put up on YouTube because they'll take them down. So after I did the video, let me come back over here. I was watching these brothers, GMS Dallas got with GMS Denver, so they took a trip out there. I was out there in Denver years ago when I was a kid, and you see Apostle Ricard and Bishop I done. They went out there, got with him. I was watching this last night. Anyway, what I was going to do. Oh, let me do this. Okay, this video right here. Members of GMS only watch this video, and I'm pretty sure that other people outside of GMS saw this video. Like, what is this all about? Let me watch it for myself. A lot of times the title will get you. This is another good one. How to expel demons from off of you. This one right here, a must-see video. And this is the individual that you see here is, he goes by his handle is, Pharaoh said that, and he did a video dealing with the MOTB. And I said I couldn't really go into it, but you got to go on the Odyssey page to see my response to this video. And I said that if I put it up on regular, YouTube, it'll definitely take it down. And in the back of my mind, I believe I said that. I said I won't be surprised if they take his video down. Maybe I figured he was going to be under the radar, but the title that he gave it, they said, man, we taking it, and they took it down. I believe it was up there, not even for 2 days, maybe a day and a half, maybe 2 days. So I caught it and I did a video on it, and you can't see this video no more. He mentions the MOTB, he mentions the Book of Revelation. So guess what? He knows he's not an Israel. In other words, he's an Israelite, but he doesn't know that he doesn't accept the fact that he's an Israelite. But the spirit was on him to do that video. I didn't even get a chance to watch the whole thing. But anyway, like I said, I did this video, which is a little bit more than 7 minutes long. And I did another video on the Odyssey page, dealing with the MOTB. You know, I do a lot of MOTB videos because we're, you know, before when John came on the scene, John the Baptist, people identified him as being the Elijah. That's why they asked him. They said, "Are you Elijah?" Because, you know, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Well, he acts like he's doing things that Elijah would do. You know, and they even asked him. You know, they asked him if he's a Messiah. He said nope. They asked him if he's one of those prophets. He said nope. They asked him if he's Elijah. He said nope. But then he said, "I am one crying in the wilderness," which is a fulfillment of prophecy that Elijah would come on the scene. So he said he wasn't Elijah, but then the words that he said after that proved that he was Elijah. Elijah is Elijah came back as John the Baptist, and he also came back as Abba. Now, this is something that Vocab Malone can't get because he's a small hat with a big head. He can't get it. You know, Reiser goes back to the small hats. He's a German small hat until he proves otherwise. And he can't get it. He can't get it. That's why I entitled the video what I entitled it, Romans, partially quoting Romans 11 verse 9. You know, what I was going to think, I was going to go to another place. Oh, this is what I wanted to do. And I didn't know I was going to do this, but I got to go into Elijah, the fulfillment of Elijah, and I got to go, and I'm going to go to the commentary, because these top Edomite so-called Christian scholars that write books on Christianity, these top guys, the university guys, and every major university, if not every university, but I know major universities all have a seminary or cemetery, as I call it. Yale has a seminary. Harvard has a seminary. Oxford and what's the other one? Oxford and Cambridge, I believe they have seminaries. I mean, I can go to it and research and find out, but all these major schools, because these universities, colleges were all set up based on the scriptures, was all to set up to learn about the Most High. That's what these universities are based in, but it became academic, science, engineering, you know, English, liberal arts, whatever. And you get a career, because these people, they go to these schools, they're supposed to be religious schools. That's why you had, you know, a boys' school, then you had a girls' school. Now you have co-ed. Anyway, give me a second. Let me come back over here. Since I'm on the topic of Elijah, I want to show you something. Then I'm gonna get into the topic that I wanted to get into and how people can't see it. You know, there's a reason why people can't, certain groups can't see the Deuteronomy 22 controversial subject. They can't see the MOTB in the scriptures. And I always mention two major camps, IUIC and ISUPK. And there's one of two reasons why they can't see it. One of two main reasons. Number one, they took the bag, or number two, the Most High blinded them. And that's why, like I said, I opened this video up with the quote from Romans chapter 11, verse 9. You can't see it. Either one of two things. You can see it clearly, but you got a bag. Or if you can't see it, which we can see it crystal clear, and you can't see it, even though we tell it to you, all right? It says, what Apostle Paul quoted Habakkuk Matter of fact, let me go to that. I got to read it. Let me read it. Habakkuk. I'm almost positive it's Habakkuk 2. Habakkuk 2. Let's see if I'm right. Bear me for a minute. Let me try this. Bear me for a minute. It's not here. Let me do it this way. I didn't know I was going to go to this, but okay, let me try it here. Okay, let me try it. Let me go to 4. No, it's no 4. Wow. Let me try it this way. Bear with me for a minute. I've completely forgot the script, but I'm positive it's in Habakkuk. Oh, this is the joke. This is a joke right here. Let me see. I want to kind of talk about tonight. I'd like to kind of get this started by you will not believe so it was told to you, Bible. This is one way of finding it. Okay, Habakkuk 1, verse 5. I thought it was Habakkuk 2, verse 5. Habakkuk 1, verse 5. Habakkuk 1, verse 5. I'm just reading these verses before it. Okay, 5th verse. Behold, ye among the heathen. Who is Paul? Paul mentions this in his writings, and he's quoting Habakkuk. So this is the prophet Habakkuk. He said, behold, ye among the heathen. Who is he talking to? He's talking to the Israelites that scattered among the heathen. And regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which ye will not believe, though it be told to you. Though it be told to you. Let me do this. Let me put that phrase in and see if it goes directly to the Apostle Paul. Okay, what I got to do, I got to do it this way. though it be told to you. Let me go to New Testament. NT. Let's see what happens. I will work a work in your day. Let's see if this is it. Boom, Acts. Okay, so it's originally Habakkuk said it, Habakkuk 1 verse 5, and Paul repeats it in Acts 13 verse 41. So let's go to that. So what was Habakkuk talking about in Acts? I mean, in Habakkuk 1 verse 5, he's talking about the Israelites being scattered among Israel. And the whole backstory is we mingle our seed. Look, man, Jake, you know, they like different looks, you know. You know, I wonder how it is to get with this nation, that nation. You know, that's our spirit. And that's what it's going to be like in the kingdom. We're going to have concubines of the other nations in our kingdom, man. We ain't just going to have Israelites. We're not going to be limited. So Acts 13 and 41. Acts 13. This has really nothing to do with the main topic, but it kind of links up, you know, with the main topic. Anyway, this is a great chapter right here. I mean, this, you know, I got to do a breakdown on this. Acts chapter 13 was how the Israelites that knew that they were Israelites were mad at the fact that the Apostle Paul was speaking to Gentiles. Those wasn't Gentiles, they were Israelites that didn't know that they were Israelites. He was bringing them back into the fold. Key character is a person in history is Cornelius, which was an Israelite. Now, Vocab Malone did a video saying he mentioned Cornelius. He said, Cornelius is a Gentile. Yes, he's a Gentile Israelite that came into the fold. So this is a great precept right here, the whole chapter. It said, beware therefore lest that come upon you which is spoken in the prophets. Behold, ye despisers, and one day he's quoting Habakkuk the prophet, and perish, for I work a work in your days, a work which ye shall not in no wise believe, though a man declare it unto you. So I'm using that for what we teach, 100% truth. The MOTB is what it is, but they ain't gonna believe it. So guess what? IUIC and ISUPK and others, they're fulfilling this prophecy. And what he was talking about was going to the Gentiles, meaning the Israelites that were starting to wake up. So this is the next project, the next riches, Acts chapter 13. And the book of Acts is a lot of information. And the reason why it's called Acts, because that comes from the word action. They did things. They acted upon things. Let me see. Now let me come back. I'm a little all over the place, but that's my style. Anyway, let me go to Malachi. Malachi 4. Show you what the scholars think. And then I'm going to get into my lesson. And behold, I will send you, Malachi 4 and 5, behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the great, for the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And this was fulfilled when Abba came on the scene. And that's why the Spirit jumped on the small big head hat, the small hat, big head vocab to do a video on it. You don't realize how much you are such a benefit to us, because thank you for the book that you came across dealing with Abba, you know? See, we didn't know that. Hey, the children of this world are wiser in their generation than the children of light. So you have one up over us. Okay, so now, where am I gonna go? Oh, this is what I was gonna do. Okay, let me come back. Come on now. Okay, this is commentary. Let's see what the commenters say. Then I'm gonna get in my subject. I just clicked on it. Come on up. Okay, let's see what the Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges have to say. Elijah the prophet, the reading of, represents the Septuagint. Elijah the Tishbite has been thought to indicate their belief that the actual return of Elijah to earth is here foretold. So they know that Elijah is going to return, whether he comes back in a chariot, a horse is on fire, when he comes back in a space, which is a spaceship, whether he comes back in a spaceship, whether he comes from the middle of the earth, whether he's born of a woman, which he was born of a woman. Actually, return of Elijah to the earth is here foretold. So they know this. We don't got to read no more. They open up with, the fact, what does it mean by Elijah returning to the earth? Some have traced the same belief in the appropriation by the son of Sirach to the letter to the literal Elijah of Malachi's description of the work of the coming prophet. Okay. Micah 4 verse 6. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Then this is a good one, Sirach 48:10. Who was ordained for reproof in their times, to pacify the wrath of the Lord's judgment before it break forth into fury. That's the destruction. When John the Baptist told them, wicked scribes and Pharisees and wicked Israelites, who told you that you're going to flee from the wrath to come? The wrath that it was talking about is Malachi 4 and 5, before the great and terrible day of the Lord, which is the wrath of the Most High. That's reincarnation right there. So what Elijah was telling them was, you ain't going to escape from the wrath. Did they receive the wrath back then, 2,000 plus years ago? No, they're going to receive it now. So all these wicked scribes and Pharisees, these wicked Israelites, they're here right now. And they're pastors, ministers, have certain positions in this world that hate us, the prophets. It says before it break forth into fury, and to turn the heart of the fathers unto the sons, and to restore the tribes of Jacob. And to restore the tribes of Jacob. That's what the sign was all about. You got to go to this Sirach 48:10. You got to read and read it in context. Read a couple of verses above and a couple of verses below. It says, though it may well be doubted whether the passage proves anything more than his acquaintance with our prophecy, the belief, however, was certainly current among the Jews, because when John the Baptist was doing his thing, they were saying, are you the Messiah? Are you one of them prophets? Are you Elijah? He said no to all the questions that he asked concerning who he was, because he didn't know. Now, when the Lord came on the scene, his cousin, he broke it down. He said that the John the Baptist, that's Elijah right there. That's the fulfillment. You can read this until you blue in the face, vocab. You ain't gonna get it because you a small hat with a big head. It says, was certainly current among the Jews in our Lord's time. So it said, oh, I didn't know they were gonna bring this up. They actually bring up Matthew 17:10. Let's see what that says. And his disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elijah must first come? What did the Lord say? Elijah truly came, but well, how did they say it? But thou didn't receive it. I'm paraphrasing. He said, matter of fact, I got to go to it. I'll do it more justice if I go to it. So let me come over here and let me go to, I can't believe they actually put the scriptures up. So they know what you don't know. Vocab 17. And they question, what's this whole Elijah thing about that the scribes and the Pharisees and Israelites are talking about? He broke it down to him. Elijah didn't know, but he know because he's the Lord. He's the Lord. Let me come over here. 9th verse. And as they came down from the mountain, they saw the transfiguration. The Lord charged them, saying, tell the vision to no man until the Son of Man be risen again from the dead. And that went over his head. He said, when I die, I'm going to come back. And they, what's wrong with this dude? I don't know about this guy. It says, and his disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elijah must first come? Why did scribes say that? Because they were studying the scriptures. They were studying the prophecies. And they were looking to see what prophecies were being fulfilled. And that's why they were sent. They said, we were sent because they said, this guy might be Elijah. I want y'all to go on down there and question that guy. It says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. That's talking about, this verse is not talking about John the Baptist. It's talking about Abba Bivens. But I say unto you that Elias is come already, which was John, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Ultimately, going to be put to death too. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist. Then they understood. And this is the second time he said that. The first time was in Matthew 11. And it went over their head. Then he explained again, and that time they get it. They got it. Okay, so now let's go back to this right here. So Mark 9, verse 7. And they asked him, saying, why say the scribes that Elijah must come? John 1, verse 21. And they asked him, what then? Are you Elijah? And he said, I am not. Are you that prophet? And he said, no. It says, nor does it follow that the belief was unfounded because he himself distinctly claims the prophecy for John the Baptist, identifying him at the same time with the passage foretold by Malachi. Oh, there it is, Matthew 11. So these Edomites know. Matter of fact, these top scholars among Esau, the top elite, they know that Abba Bivens is Elijah. For this is he of whom it is written, behold, send my messenger before you, your face, which shall prepare your way before you. That's Matthew 11 and 10. Let's go to Matthew 14. And if you will receive it, if you will receive it, this is Elijah which was forth to come. You can't get any more plainer than that. But vocab can't see it. And vocab can't see it because of Daniel 12 verse 10 and Psalms 110 and 4. The Lord ain't dealing with you, brah. Matthew 17 verse 12. But I say to you, this Elias is come already, and they have done, and they knew him not, but have done to him whatsoever they listed. It's hard to read, these letters are so small. Likewise, shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. So it says, so they know. Up until this point, Cambridge Bible for schools and colleges, they know. It says the prophecy had a first fulfillment in the Baptist. Wow. The prophecy had a first fulfillment. There was two fulfillments of Elijah coming back. Matthew 17, Matthew 11. The prophecy had a first fulfillment in the Baptist, who went before the face of the Lord in the spirit and power of Elijah. What does it mean, the spirit and the power of Elijah? What scriptures should come to mind? Was that 1 Corinthians 14? I believe that's 32. The spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. That's reincarnation right there. Did not Daniel say that he's going to come back in his lot? Daniel chapter 12. So Daniel could be among us. And he could be Apostle Gabar. He could be, that name just came up. He could be one of the younger brothers in the camp. He could be a Bishop Ainap, or he could be Elder Yashawamba, or I'm just throwing names out, man. I'm just throwing names out. It could be me. It's hard. Said he's Daniel. No, I didn't. I don't know who Daniel is, but Daniel most likely is here, or he could be one of the saints that have transitioned. Reincarnation is real, and you're not going to get it. Like in Vogue, you're never going to get it, never going to get it, never going to get it, never going to get it. You know why you ain't going to get it, vocab? Because you're not one of us. You're not a part of the elect. You're not even an Israelite until you prove otherwise. It said the prophecy had a first fulfillment in the Baptist, John the Baptist, who went before the face of the Lord in the spirit and power of Elijah to do the work here described, which is Luke 1:17. And he shall go before him in the spirit and the power of Elijah. The spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. Reincarnation, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people prepared for the Lord. And what's that people prepared for the Lord? The Israelites. That's why Ezekiel was told to put a sign together. So now, even Bishop Nathaniel believes that Abba is Elijah, but guess what? it said that he will turn the heart to the father to the children and the heart to the children to the father. Who are they? That's Masha, Arya, and Yaikwab. And then you can say the rest, some of the rest of the seven. But it was them. If one sense, in one sense, he was Elijah, which was for to come, as reincarnation. But in another sense, and on his own confession, John 1:21, no, I'm not Elijah. Yeah, because he didn't know. You remember not former things. Was that Ecclesiastes? He was not. For the prophecy awaits a second and, as some believe, more literal fulfillment. And as the typical Elijah came before the Messiah's first advent, and they knew him not, but did unto him whatsoever they listed. So before his second advent of the Lord shall another Elijah come and shall restore all things. So who woke us up to this? Why are we out here on the highways and the byways? Why are we doing the sit down? Why are we so fanatic? You know, and Esau, he's a fanatic. That don't mean you can be a fanatic for fucking women, man. They're gonna lock your ass up. This nigga dealing with too many women. He's a fanatic. Lock the nigga up. You got people that are photographers, right? And all you see that motherfucker do is out in the woods somewhere taking. I see that all the time. That dude is a fanatic. You're gonna always run into him at a B&H. Yeah, hey, if y'all ever come to New York, you know y'all got to go to B&H, the camera kingdom. Okay, you got people that are in Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is a fanatic for golf. He got his legs all messed up. He's still playing golf with his sons. His son's gonna be a fanatic. So Esau uses that as a negative connotation. Well, he's a fanatic. You got to watch him. That guy's a fanatic. And guess what? These scholars, these Edomite scholars that put these commentaries together, guess what? They're fanatics of the scriptures. They show you right here, just based upon what we read. Anyway, let's go to the subject. Let's go to Romans, back to Romans 11. You know what I'm gonna do? The key point is in the 9th verse, but what I want to do is start from the top, and I'm gonna read down to, because you got Israelite groups from One West that still teach that these Gentiles are talking about actual Gentiles, based upon the breakdown that High Priest Arya gave them, and the 7. It says Israel is not cast away. It's talking about national Israel. It says, I say then, have the Most High cast away his people, the Most High forbid, for I also am an Israelite. This is Paul speaking. What is he saying? He's an Israelite, not a spiritual Israelite. He's an actual Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. The Most High have not cast away his people, which he foreknew. What ye not, what the scriptures say of Elias, how he maketh intercession to the Most High against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what saith the answer the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Now it's 144 men, 144,000 men, 12,000 out of each of the tribes, and the rest of the elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Even so, then, at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. The remnant according to the election of grace is right here too. We say we're the hopefully elect, humbly. And if by grace, then is it no more works? See, this guy, vocab, he puts it, see, they go by the, you got to keep the law. That's the only way you go. No, we never said that. GMS never said that. IUIC never said that. Well, IUIC is kind of saying it, you know, but we don't say that. We're saying what Romans 11:6 says. And if by grace, then is it no more works, meaning the law? But are you to keep the laws? Yeah. The Lord told, the Lord, our Lord made references to Moses and the law many a times. So what the hell are you talking about? He told, I think, the man that was crippled in his bed, after he healed him, he said, go and sin no more, lest a worse curse come upon thee. Somebody could put it in the comment section. The women being accused of adultery, the Lord saved us. Said, where are your accusers? They all left. He said, so I forgive you too. What did he say? Go and sin no more. What's the meaning of the word sin? It literally means to miss the mark. Missing the mark meaning you're not keeping the laws. Did not our Lord keep the laws? That's why so many Christians are leaving Christianity among Jake, and they're identifying themselves with Israelites. And all these entertainers, all these actors, all these athletes, all these famous Jakes, they all know about us. They all know about us. But they're not, prophets, so they're not going to come in like that. But they all watch us, from Denzel to Soupy Sales. That's a so-called Jew. Anyway, forgive me for my corny jokes. It says, Romans 11:6, and if by grace, then it is no more works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. So we're going to be saved by grace. But if it be works, then is it no more grace? Otherwise, work is no more work. Work meaning the laws. Grace meaning having mercy on us. You laid on your insurance, they give you a grace period, a 20-day grace period. That doesn't mean you don't got to pay the bill. You got a grace period to pay the bill. It says what? It says what then? Israel have obtained that which he seeketh for. Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have attained it, and the rest were blinded. The election is talking about the elected Israel. According as it is written, the Most High have given them the spirit of slumber. He's quoting Isaiah, eyes that they should see not, and ears that they should hear not, unto this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. So now I got to pull out some words. So I'm going to come back to this. The 9th verse. A lot of meat in that verse. Let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their back always. That's talking about the ones of you out there that can't see it, or the ones of you that woke up to the fact that you're Israelite and you can't see the whole book. If you can't see that the MOTB is what we here at GMS says it is, then the Most High close your eyes, or you took the bag. 11, I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? Who stumbled? Who stumbled? The Israelites that became Gentiles. The Most High forbid. Well, Jake in a hole, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles. The Gentiles are talking about Israelites. The ones that have stumbled that they should fall is talking about the Jews, because they didn't accept the Messiah. But forbid, the Most High forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is coming to the Gentiles, the Israelite foreigners, for starting with Cornelius, for to provoke them to jealousy. So now I said, let me come back to this. Acts 13. I have to go back to Acts 13. And this is the fulfillment of that. Provoke them to jealousy. I'll start from Okay, I'll start the 42nd verse. It says, when the Jews were going out of the synagogue or the temple, the Gentiles, the Israelite foreigners that were coming back into the fold, besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath. Now, when the congregation was broken up, many of the Jews and religious proselytes followed Paul and Barnabas, who, speaking in them, persuaded them to continue in the grace of the Most High, because he opened them up to the Messiah. Paul turned to the Gentiles. And the next Sabbath day came almost the whole city together to hear the word of the Most High. But when the Jews saw the multitude, they were filled with envy, and that's a fulfillment of Romans 11 that I just read. The verse I believe is Romans 11:11, and spake against those things which were spoken by Paul, contradicting and blaspheming. Then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said it was necessary that the word of the Most High should first have been spoken to you, but seeing you put it all from you and judge yourself unworthy of everlasting life, lo, we turn to the Gentiles, the Israelite, that Cornelius, so you can understand. For so hath the Yahweh commanded us, saying, I have set thee to be a light of the Gentiles. What Gentiles is talking to? This is a quote from Isaiah. It's talking about the Israelite foreigners, starting with Cornelius, that thou shouldest be for salvation unto the ends of the earth. Why? Because it was scattered. Deuteronomy 28:64 and other precepts. And when the Gentiles, Israelite foreigners, heard this, they were glad and glorified the word of Yahweh, and as many as were ordained to eternal life, part of the elect. And the word of the Lord was published throughout all the region. But the Jews stirred up the devout and honorable women and the chief men of the city, and raised persecution against Paul and Barnabas, and expelled them out of their coast. But they shook off the dust of their feet. Why did he do that? Because the Lord said that in Matthew 10. They came on to Iconium, and the disciples were filled with joy and with hope and with the Holy Spirit. Okay, now let me come back to verse I read. It says, now if the fall of them be the riches of the world represent Israelite foreigners, Gentiles, Israelites in the Gentile state of mind, and the diminishing of them, the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness. Who's going to come back? The Jews are going to come back. If I speak to you Gentiles, Israelite foreigners, and as much as I am apostle of the Gentile, Israelite foreigners, I magnify mine office. The key point is in 15. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are of my flesh. Are those Gentiles of the flesh of Paul? Yeah, but they're distant relatives. You got relatives that you know, this is your cousin. Well, you didn't know that guy. You could have ran into that dude and not realizing. You could have took a trip. You could have been in New York. You could have went to California, and you run into a person that you kind of cool with, and then you realize years later that that was your cousin. It says it might save some of them. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world meaning the Israelite foreigners, what shall the receiving of them the Jews be but life from the dead? It says, for if the casting away of some of them be the reconciling of the world, I bet you that word is cosmos. Let's see. Let's see if it's cosmos. Yep, cosmos, meaning Israelites. Let me see. Let's come back. Where am I? Where am I? Okay, 15 verse. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, the Israelite foreigners, the Israelites in the Gentile state of mind, what shall the receiving of them, the Jews, be the life of the dead? Because they're all going to come back to the fulfillment of Ezekiel. Take one stick, Judah and his companion. Take another stick, Ephraim and the stick of Joseph and his companion. Join them unto one stick. Jeremiah, either that's Jeremiah 50 or Jeremiah 51. The Judah and Israel shall be oppressed together. Anytime I go into the hood, guess what? You don't just see Jake. You see Jake, you see a couple of Mexicans, you see like Ephraimites, you see a couple of Simeonites, you see a Benjaminite dude with dread and a Jiffy popcorn hat. You see a Colombian, you see a motherfucker you think is Puerto Rican, but he's actually Colombian, you know, or Ecuadorian, you think he's a Mexican. Those are them people. Them people of North, Central, and South America, of Indian and so-called Negroid descent, the Latin tribes, those are the Israelites on the other side of the world. It says, and I'm going to prove that. It says, for if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life of the dead? So let's deal with the word reconcile. And then I'm going to jump back up to the 9th verse and then I'm going to close. Reconcile. You have a friend that you knew from 10th grade, and maybe he looked at your woman the wrong way. You got mad at him, and you ain't talked to the dude for a couple of years, and then you realize, you know, that woman was a hoe any damn way. And then you say, well, why are we mad? That's called reconciling. So we were, the Gentiles of Israel was cast out, pushed aside, ain't dealing with them. So now the Most High is saying, okay, I sent my prophets, which in the form of apostles, and they brought you back into the fold, right? It says, reconcile.
Strong's G 2643, katalage.
And you notice I didn't call the white man the devil not one time. So you heard that, right? Now it says, exchange of the businesses of money changes, exchanging equivalent values. That's in law. It's called a quid pro quo. This for that. Adjustment of a difference, reconciliation, restoration to favor. We were friends. You looked at my girl's ass. I caught you. I don't want to be your friend no more. You find out that bitch is a fucking hoe. And then you're like, why am I mad at you? I've been knowing you since we were 10 years old. No, man, let's come on. I'm gonna buy a beer. I'm gonna get you a beer. Let's go to the bar, whatever. Let's hang out, man. Yeah, sorry, brother. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. Looking at that ass, she was a hoe any damn way. You know, forget about that hoe. It says in the NT New Testament of the restoration of the favor of the Most High to sinners, which are Israelites, because they were without the Most High. So they got tattoos on them. They ate pork. They worship other gods. That repent and put their trust in the expiatory death of the Messiah. So reconciliation, let me look it up in a common, and go to Google. Let me put up reconciliation. To restoration of friendly relations. So you can't reconcile with somebody you never met. You meet somebody for the first time, let's reconcile. You cannot reconcile with somebody that you first met, that you just met. Reconciliation means you have to know each other, you have to be friends. Something happens where you don't want to be friends, and then something brings you back together. That's called reconciliation. So when was the Gentiles ever with the Most High? The actual Gentiles? Never, never. So those Gentiles in Romans 11 is talking about Israelites. This is for you newer cats. So now let me come back over here to, where am I? Okay, Romans 11, verse 9. And David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let's look up the word table. And it says, let their table trapeza. A table on which food is placed. What is the food? It's truth. Eat this word and go out and teach the sons of Israel. An eating place. The table in the temple at Jerusalem, on which the consecrated holy loaves were placed. A loaf is food. You eat this, and the loaves are only for the priests. Now David was able to eat those loaves and were forgiven, because the Most High was showing grace unto Israel back then. King David committed adultery. The penalty for that was death. The Most High had mercy on him, but the Most High put hell on him. So the Most High can forgive you of his laws, of breaking the law, even back then. Now the word company means, what does it mean? Company means to break bread or with bread. You know, I got company coming over, you know, but it comes from the word, the penny is bread, equivalent to the food placed upon the table, which is the truth. To set a table, put food before one. The food is talking about the information, the full. Your mother told you, look, eat everything, eat them string beans, eat that spinach. You don't get up unless you eat that spinach. Now you might give it to your dog. You ain't eating the spinach. You ain't eating the string beans. You got to eat the whole thing. Same thing with the roll. Eat this roll and go out and teach the sons of Israel. These other Israelite groups, ISUPK, IUIC, is not dealing with the whole roll. And the people that follow them are zombies. It says of a banquet. A banquet has what? Different types of food. Salty food, sweet food, carbs, rich foods, healthy foods. So you can choose to go to a banquet and eat healthy. I'm just going to eat salad, whatever. Somebody else going to load up on meat and bread and cheeses. It said the table or stand of a money changer. And by the way, the word table in the Latin is bankal, which do you get the word bank? So when you go to a bank, the word bank really means table. When you open up an account, they say, well, come to my table. They're sitting on the big chair, and you're on the other side, you're on the small chair. They're in that big throne type thing, and they get your information, whether you want a loan or not. They always bring you to the table. Guess where that came from? The money changers, where he sits exchanging different kinds of money for a fee. Banks make their money through what? Through interest, and paying back with interest, loans, or deposits. You have a savings account. At one time, you got a good interest. You know, what is it called? Interest rate. And annual percentage rate, which is APR, and then you have annual percentage yield, APY, which you get interest. They don't give you that much interest, but years ago you got pretty good interest for putting money in the bank. Now you got to pay them to keep your money in the bank. It's a trap ed za properly contracted from G5064, G3979, a table or stool as being four-legged, which is a table, usually for food, figuratively a meal, and a meal is a spiritual meal. Also a counter for, and you got to feed sheep constantly, man. You can't say, well, I'm not going to feed the sheep today. You got to feed them constantly for money, which is the true figuratively a broker's office to loan at interest, bank, meat, table. What is that, Luke 19, if I'm not mistaken, the parable of the talents, the money. There's a business transaction between us and the Most High. You do the right thing with the money, you're going to get more money. So now let's come back. They said, let their table be made a snare. The other day, a couple of days ago, you had the guy Ronan go on Deacon Akar's page pushing that hell doctrine that you actually is a place where your soul burns in hell. Well, he had to be, I came in there and I cursed the dude out. I said, you got demons on you. And you know what he did? From his comment that he left on my video, it sounded like he humbled himself. Okay, snare. Okay, ice, let me see. Into, unto, towards, for among, let me see. Okay, it says against, among, as at, backward, before, by concerning, continual, far more, exceeding, for, never. Let me come back. I don't like that definition. It says snare, which is a trap, and a trap. The same word. Some of these Greek, when you go back to the Greek, it's lost in translation. A snare and a trap and a stumbling block. A stumbling block. Let's see what the Greek word for stumbling block is. Stumbling block. Okay, it's the same word. You know what, it says a primary preposition. I'll come back one more time. And a recompense unto them. Recompense meaning, let's go to the Greek word on that. And a recompense. Same thing. Same word. Let's go to the 10th verse It said, let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, meaning see what? The truth, and bow down their back always. Give me a second. I want to bring up another concept. Maybe it's a farming. I spelled it wrong. Okay, this is I put in the word vomit. It's here 8 times. What I wanted was Isaiah 28, verse 8. But I'll read some of these, the rest of them. Isaiah 28, verse 8. Start at verse 7. But they also have erred through wine, that's philosophies, and through strong drink are out of the way. The priests and the prophets have erred. You know, when you teach that the MOTB is an embargo in Christianity, you erred, you greatly erred. And you got people that are blindly following you, whatever you say. When you teach that John the Baptist fell out the truth, you greatly erred. When you call on Most High and Christ bless you, greatly erred. There's so many other things that these guys go off on. Have erred through strong drink. And you got a lot of guys that get into a lot of books. They get this book, get that book, and come back with this book for the making of main books. You know what that says? They are swallowed up of wine, of this philosophy. GOCC, they teach that there's Genesis 6, that those are actual angels having sex with people, women on the earth. And they became hybrids. Oh, there's mermaids. You know, there's mermaids out there. Ain't no damn mermaids out there. What else? They teach that the hell is an actual place that you burn in. Reincarnation is not biblical. Edomites and other nations can make it. It's a swallowed up of wine, meaning the false philosophies. They are out of the way through strong drink. They got deep into that wine. They went into the strong drink. So they drunk off of that nonsense. Like you know, going back to GOCC, I don't say too much about them. Man, they go into the book of Enoch, and I believe they go into Enoch. They go into the book of Enoch and this book and that book, and they're totally off. But guess what? When they do a video, they'll get 50,000 people following them, man. Mostly, a lot of them are women. And the Most High is going to do away with them and the leader. Rakar, the Most High is going to kill Rakar. And what did the Most High do to Tazadakia? There's a point that he just took him out. He said, boom, I'm putting you on ice. I'm giving you a dirt nap. It says they are out of the way through strong drink. So, see, my teacher's deeper than you. He goes into all these books. Oh, Fopi, I call him Dopey. Fopi, I remember when they were kind of in this thing, the brother Sham Shine, whatever his name was, he had a series of videos where he had a whole bunch of books. He said, look at all the books I got. Them dudes are gone. They now teaching that Edomites are in Africa, that the white man is not the Edomites. That Edomites are black people in Africa. You know, one of them, you're going to run into certain black Africans, and some of them are Edomites. That's what these clowns are teaching. And they want to debate everybody. Ain't nobody want to debate a jackass. It says, that's a video right there. Ain't nobody want to debate a jackass. You heard me, vocab? Vocab, you're a jackass. It says they are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. For all tables are full of vomit, So whatever they teach you, when they teach you that garbage is vomit, and guess what? You zombies are eating the vomit, and you saying it's good. Oh, I like this. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. So the scriptures say now have waxing worse and worse, right? So it said, whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. You have need that one teach you again, which is the first principles of the oracles of the Most High. Hebrews, what that? Hebrews 5:12. And you need milk and not meat. And you have to be exercised in your senses. So, these guys they'll never get it, because like I said, the Most High took it from them. Even if they took the bag, the Most High took it from them anyway, because they don't fear the Most High. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.